Welcome back to another week of the 13 Sports Coaches Show. I'm Katie Marr, this week joined by Silver Lake girls basketball coach Kyle Porter. Coach, thanks for talking with me this week.
Hey, excited to be here, Katie.
Absolutely. Well, what has the off season looked like for you and the girls since winning the 3A state title?
Well, our off seasons really looked pretty much the same. We like to have a bell here at school. We like to go to the Pitt State team camp early in the summer. That gives us a good idea of who we have back, and it allows our players to kind of get a first opportunity at what the next season is going to look like, get some experience there. We do skill development weekly. Our kids are in the weight room and just trying to prepare as much as they can for the school season. We have multi-sport athletes, so we really, after June, other than shooting, we have a 10K shooting challenge where we challenge our kids to get 10,000 shots up in the summer. But other than that, I mean, it's really hands off until the season starts, allowing them to focus and to go as far as they can in their fall sports.
Yeah, and I mean, the last time I think we caught up with you guys was right after you won state. Now that you've had months to reflect, has it sunk in that you guys are the reigning state champions?
Yeah, it's sunk in, but we've certainly turned the page. I think it was really fun to celebrate that team and all that they were able to accomplish. But right now, our focus is on the team that we currently have and how we can maximize their capabilities and see how what we can accomplish this season with this new group.
Yeah, and before we move on to this season, just looking back at last year, I mean, you guys didn't just win state, you won state undefeated. It's how tough was it to truly go? I know everyone says 1-0 every day, but you guys really did go 1-0 every day. Just how tough was that looking back?
Yeah, every season has its own challenges, and for that particular team, it was on staying hungry, making sure that we're consistent, and challenging ourselves to improve each and every day. And it's hard enough, especially when you maybe aren't challenged when the lights are on, but to try to find ways to keep an edge, to continue to grow as a team. And I think that team did a very good job in setting the standard in terms of the consistency they brought to practice, the consistency they brought in how they approached each game. And I think that really benefited us. And it's going to be a challenge this season as well to stay consistent, but especially for a team that had as much talent as last year's team.
Yeah, and it was a very talented senior class, especially. Did it feel like it was kind of the culmination of a lot of years? Because you guys had a few really impressive years leading up to that. And then you end with that big celebration. Was it kind of a culmination of a lot of years of hard work?
Yeah, certainly it was. I mean, we went to the state tournament for 4 straight seasons. We had a core group that were consistent producers on those teams. To get to the state semifinals twice and to lose, I think left everybody pretty hungry. And so it really was a culmination of not only 4 years, but the time that those kids have put in since they were in first, second, third grade. And credit to the community of Silver Lake and the parents for providing opportunities for our kids to develop, to have a chance when they get to high school to compete for a state championship.
Yeah, and now new year, new group for the most part. Are they excited coming in with the title defense on their mind, or are you guys trying not to think about that too much?
It's funny you mentioned that because that's what a lot of people say is, oh, uh, thinking about last year's team, does this year's team have any sort of pressure or expectation? Or man, that's a tough act to follow. And for us as a team, uh, we want to, like, our mantra has been to embrace the chase. And the chase is not for some trophy at the end. It's in regards to us being our best, trying to figure out how we can get this team to be the best that they can be by the end of the season, to play our best basketball at the end of the season. And so for us, we've kind of just said, quite frankly, like, screw any sort of outside expectation, forget about any outside expectation, and let's just focus on getting better, enjoying one another, competing together, and letting the season play out on its own.
Pressure-free basketball is for sure the most fun, especially in high school. And speaking of last year's senior class, you guys graduated. A strong presence in the paint being Mackenzie McDaniel. Just how do you plan to kind of reload with such a big presence there?
Yeah, well, certainly you're not going to replace someone like Mackenzie McDaniel with the skill set and the size and athleticism that she had. But I think, like, along with Kenzie and some of our other players, we're going to have new players step in that'll have their own unique strengths and abilities. And with us being in our second day of practice, we're not quite sure how those pieces are all going to fit, but it's really exciting to look at the group that we have, to see what they bring to the table, and then to try to find ways within our kind of what we do offensively and defensively to highlight their strengths and abilities.
Yeah, and you also bring back kind of a spark plug in Kaylin Haney. Just talk about her impact on the team, and she's only a junior, correct? You still got 2 more years
Yeah,
with her.
she is, and I think every team that we face is gonna have the same thing. Like, gosh, she's only a junior, but she's been playing since her freshman year. She's gonna run our team. She's the floor general, and what's really cool about Kaylin is she's a fierce competitor. I mean, someone that hates to lose, and yet she is one of it's very rare to have a fierce competitor and someone who is incredibly relational and connects well with others, and is really a charismatic leader. And that's what she brings to the table for us. And so she's as important on the court as she is off the court, and keeping our team connected, and helping us to handle the challenges that come, the ups and downs that come with the season.
Yeah, now that she's an upperclassman, have you seen her? I mean, it's early in practice, but have you seen her kind of take more of that senior leadership role that juniors and seniors do?
Yeah, collectively we have three seniors: Ella Bolin, Taylor Zordel, and Alana Brewster. And you can tell that they are the drivers of our team from an example standpoint. And I'll say that Kaylin brings that vocal presence to that core group. That it's great because she's another coach on the floor. I mean, there are things that she says within practice that, as a coaching staff, we look at each other and say, it looks like Kaylin's already told the team what we need to do. I feel really connected with her in terms of how she sees the game, and she brings that vocal presence that I think is going to be big for our team.
Yeah, and bringing back three seniors, just how beneficial is it to have I mean, that's not always the case. Sometimes you win a state championship, and then you have an entire new roster because you were all seniors that year. You guys have the benefit of bringing back girls with experience. Just how beneficial is that?
It's incredibly beneficial, and I think the most beneficial piece is the fact that those players had to go against last year's seniors 55 times in practice. And you think about all the challenges that they had to face behind closed doors when nobody's watching, and the growth that they had because of it. I think allows us a certain level of confidence to believe that they can step into roles, even though they have some experience, and this isn't the first time they played on a varsity floor, fortunately. But the lack of just being a starter or playing significant minutes, um, I I think we have a level of comfort that they can step into that role based on the experience they had in practice last year.
Yeah, and about 2, 3 days into official Keisha regulated practice now, just what stood out to you about your team so far?
I feel like, man, that's a good question. There's a lot of things that come to my mind. I feel like we have a team that wants to get better and they want to learn. I don't see us as a team that's going to go through the motions. I think there's a sense of urgency that we have to get better faster than other teams. And my challenge to our staff and our team was to see if we can make this week, if we could make more mistakes than any other team in the state. Meaning to try to eliminate a sense of fear of failure, and to just focus on competing and learning what we can and can't do, decision making, all those things. We've really ramped it up the first 2 days. A lot of play. There's a lot of sore legs walking around the halls, but I think that'll allow us to get better at a faster rate and hopefully expedite our learning curve. To be prepared to step into a lot of players to step into a new role this season.
Yeah, for sure you want to make the mistakes early and not later. What are some things that you might be anticipating, maybe presenting some challenges for you guys this year that you'll have to overcome?
I think with any team, I'm really excited to see how this team handles adversity and handles challenge. I mean, it's not a matter of if, or a matter of, yeah, if it's going to come, it's when it's going to come. And so I'm ready to see how we embrace, maybe a team going on a run or facing foul trouble or all those things that you just kind of wonder how your team's going to respond. Those are certainly going to be challenges. There's going to be challenges with roles and accepting roles on any team. Every player comes in with an ideal of what they want to do as part of the team. And, within the first month or 2 months of the season, those roles will kind of be identified. And in our opinion, the quicker a player can accept and see how that role benefits the team and really embrace that role and doesn't fight it, I think that allows them uh, to really grow and develop at a faster rate, but to also understand that you can expand your role throughout the season. And we're going to have players that will need to have their role expanded as the season goes on and different challenges are presented. But yeah, you go into the season and it's not like challenges are going to come. It's just a matter of when and how we can learn through each experience and hopefully handle challenges better as we progress throughout the season.
Yeah, and you guys obviously play in a tough conference every year. That gives you quite the schedule. Just who are you seeing maybe out of your conference this year that might present some challenges for you guys? It's always loaded, I feel like, here in Northeast Kansas.
Yeah, I mean, I'd hate to pick on one or two and have the rest of the Big East League watch this video and circle even more Silver Lake on their schedule. But I mean, gosh, you look at the amount of success in state championships that have been in the Big Seven League. When you look at Sabetha, Nemaha, Holton, Royal Valley, you have a lot of schools in the Big Seven League that have been successful, and in the Mid East League. Riley County is one of the toughest teams I feel like to play each and every year. Rossville plays at a pace that not many people can replicate. St. Mary's has, in my opinion, one of the best posts in our league, if not in the state. And so you have so many, factors that go in. I think the cool thing will be that you're going to have to bring it each and every night. And I think that's really important for our team to embrace a level of consistent performance, because if not, there's a good chance you're going to get beat if you don't